I don't know where you've been, but you're going to respect this courtroom. My life has proven that it's not about where you come from, it's about where you're going. From a jailed youth who had my record expunged to becoming the youngest judge elected.
The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding.
In just 15 years. Ma'am, let me know when you want to go to rehab. Otherwise, I think you're a crackhead.
Absolutely not.
My goal is to inspire others to overcome their obstacles. You don't need him and his little raggedy roommate.
Thank you.
All while having a little fun on Mathis Court. You look like you're ready to lie right the first word out your mouth. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Holly McDonald is suing Bradley Parker in the amount of $1,100.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may all be seated.
McDonald claims her dog was bitten by a tick while in her neighbor's yard and says Mr. Parker should cover the vet bill because his overgrown property is a haven for the tiny bloodsuckers.
State your name.
I'm Holly McDonald.
Sir.
Bradley Parker.
All right, and ma'am, you're suing the defendant $1,100 for veterinary bills, alleging that your dog was bitten by tick and caused Lyme disease?
That's correct.
All right, start with you.
Yeah, so I've lived in my house for about 5 years now, and I've always had wonderful neighbors surrounding me on either side of me, and Bradley here moved in recently. And he hasn't really been one of the greatest neighbors, not here to complain or anything, but
what expectations did you have that he failed to fulfill as a neighbor? You wanted him to come by and greet you and he didn't? You wanted him to bring you a cake and he didn't?
Well, nothing of that sort.
What?
But like, I just feel like I reached out a lot of times and haven't heard a lot from him, which is totally fine. But I just don't.
A lot of times?
Yes.
And he never responded?
He responded, but he's usually just never there, or he's on his way out or in.
Okay.
Yes. So.
Doesn't sound like he was neglectful, ma'am. Sound like he was either busy or he wasn't there, by your own admission.
Okay.
And he did accept one when you were there.
You're correct. You're correct.
Go ahead. And what has he? I'm looking to hear that he never cut his grass. Things.
Yes.
He made the neighborhood look bad. Why'd you bring the property values down?
I'm sorry.
With that in mind, maybe that wasn't why, because it seemed like a decent enough guy. You tell me about moving in and your relationship with your neighbors, and particularly, she said she reached out to you, and you can go. You come home after you go to work.
Well,
you could have seen it when you come home, and then called her and said thank you.
I've been in this neighborhood for 2 years. I just want to mind my own business. I'm a really hardworking guy. I know a lot of us are in this world. I go to work from 10 a.m. well into past midnight.
Damn, excuse me.
Yeah, and it's a lot. And the thing is, the way I get into my home, I don't even see my lawn. To be quite honest with you, Judge, I don't even care about my lawn. I don't. The way it looks right now, I kind of like it. It looks like an English garden, like Wind in the Willows style.
You need to care as it relates to the appearance that reflects the block that you're looking at, that you're living on, the quality of the block. So I'm hoping you're not saying that you didn't care enough about the appearance of your house so much so that it was an eyesore. That's not what you're saying.
That is not what I'm saying at all.
You're not trying to be grand.
No, not at all.
That.
I want my garden to look nice.
Okay.
I want it to look like an English garden, though.
Got it.
Wild. So I work a lot, and I mind my own business. You know, and the thing is, I've been working, I've been doing my thing. When I go into that home, it's my home. When I'm at home, I just want to watch TV. When I have a day off, which is very seldom for me, I don't want to mow my lawn. I apologize if that's offensive to society, but I just don't want to mow my lawn. I want to watch TV. It's just the way I'm wired.
I got it, but if your yard isn't looking up to par on a block, it hurts the appearance of the entire block. And if too many, and I'm being serious now, if too many grasses are not cut regularly, when a real estate potential buyer goes down that street, he sees, say, more than 3, I'm not buying there. these folks over here don't take care of their property.
But may I ask a question, Your Honor? Who's to judge what is beautiful? Like
Okay,
you know
sir.
what I mean? Like my lawn is beautiful to me, and if it's not beautiful to some
But
schmuck
you said
that
it
comes
was
through-
overgrown and you don't feel like cutting it
I-
sometimes. That's what
Well,
indicates that it might be
if
an
I may
eyesore, because you
interject.
just said you don't feel like cutting it all the time. Yes, ma'am.
I would say that looks aren't everything. That's the problem with this. I would say that long grasses, one, we live in the Long Beach area, in the Los Angeles area, and basically wildfires are a real thing. If grasses get too long, that becomes a real hazard. And not to mention, it becomes this place where creatures and critters can kind of develop it as their habitat almost and hang around more often.
Coming up on Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Her dog is always off its leash.
It's off its leash when it's in the front yard, but that's very rare.
Do you have a fence in the front yard?
I do not.
And later,
Well, I've been repairing watches for almost 20 years now, and that watch was almost like a bad marriage, Your Honor.
What do you mean?
The damage on that watch was already done.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878.
This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Mathis Court is back with a case of Holly McDonald, who is suing Bradley Parker for veterinary bills.
Tell me what happened to cause you to sue him for the vet bills.
Yes. So I have a dog named Kona, and she has a very short coat, and she's very much well loved by the entire neighborhood.
What
Very
type of
sweet
dog again?
She's a hound mix.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And on the day of the incident, I had just gotten her home from the groomers because I take her to the groomers about once a year. And I brought her home, no ticks, obviously. They check for those things at the groomers. And I let her go into the front yard to go to the restroom. Just before we go inside, I'm out there with her. And we see a possum run into his yard. And of course, the dog takes off right after it. And I'm trying to call her name and get a hold of her. But it's hard because once she gets into the yard, I can't see her anymore because the grasses are so tall. And so it took me like 5 minutes just to rein her in and to get her to come back to my yard. And, you know.
Your dog ran out
Yes.
and went on to his yard.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. And
Took you how long to get the dog back?
about 5-ish minutes to get her back.
And
these.
your dog was just hanging out in the yard, your dog.
Yes, it's
hanging
not
out
typically
in
what I
your
do.
yard.
Yes.
And then went over to his chasing a possum.
Yes,
All
that
right,
is correct.
go ahead. And then what?
We don't typically have problems with critters
Mm-hmm.
around, but that day there was one.
When did you discover that your dog had ticks? How long after that?
When I immediately brought her into the house after getting her out of the grass, obviously I checked around and I found a tick bite on her stomach. And I didn't want to complain or anything like that. At the end of the day, it was a bite, but I was frustrated. So I went over to my neighbor's house to complain and just kind of get some advice on what to do in the situation. And he ended up calling in a complaint for me to get the lawn
This your
cut.
neighbor?
Yes, this is
Oh,
Robert.
I'm sorry. Come up. I thought
Hey.
that was your husband.
Hi, how you doing? My name is Robert Foster. I'm Holly's neighbor.
Okay.
And so I saw the grass, and she told me about the tick bite, and I was kind of,
How long after did she tell you about the tick bite? How long? When did she say it had occurred? Did she say 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes
I
ago,
think it
an
was the next
hour?
day. It was the next day. She
Pardon?
told me, I think it was the next day she told me about the tick bite.
Next day.
Yeah, so then I called the city council, and I guess it worked because a day or two later, the city council, his grass was cut. So I guess the complaint to city council worked. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why don't you think you should be responsible?
One, her dog is always off its leash outside. Anytime I look outside, the dog is always off
Is
its
that
leash.
true?
It's off its leash when it's in the front yard, but that's very rare because I have a
have a
fenced-in
fence
area
in
in
the
my
front yard?
backyard. The only reason it was in the
Do you
front
have a fence in the front yard?
I do not.
You don't?
I do
Yet
not.
your dog is on without a leash. Go ahead. What else?
And then the dog goes into my yard, runs around, rolls around, does whatever it does, chasing a possum. I'm the possum king, whatever. I don't know what it's doing. And it gets a tick. But how do you know the tick is from my yard? How do you know that that tick was from the yard of Bradley Parker, this guy? Huh? I don't think you have any forensic evidence to show that that tick was from my yard. I think you're kind of pulling that out of the air.
I don't have any evidence, but she literally came home from the groomers at the moment of the incident, and as soon as she came out of your yard, she had a tick. It's just the logical thing I put together.
Do you know it was a tick?
Yes.
Yeah, you went to the vet and everything. Yeah, okay.
Yes, I did. I have the vet's bill right here. Because
All
she
right,
actually...
I'm ready to quote the law and make the decision. This is very typical and very frequently happens. And the law is that you must have a leash on your dog at all times unless that dog is in a fenced yard on your property. And if the dog escapes, because it's your responsibility to keep the dog on your property, if the dog escapes your property, whatever happens thereafter, you're responsible. Secondly, ma'am, you admitted to leaving your dog off the leash in the front yard. That is terrible habit, because a lot of children are scared of dogs. They walk by and see the dog and start running. I don't know if your dog is the type to chase people. Some dogs, that's the only time they chase you is when you run. Kids be doing that. They could fall. They could run into the street and get hit. So no, ma'am, you breached, you broke the law. So I must tell you to dismiss your case. Have a good day.
All rise.
Judge Mathis has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case has been dismissed.
I'm happy I'm not your friend.
I just hope that whatever neighbors you have in the future, that you are kind and respectful to them.
Coming up.
When I opened up the inside, as I mentioned, parts were barely holding together.
How old do you think the watch is?
I couldn't even tell you. I mean, great-grandpa watched in the
have any idea?
1800s. It's about 200 years old.
You're watching Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Closed captioning provided by
This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Ashen Jenkins is suing Marcus Williams in the amount of $8,223. Mr. Jenkins claims he inherited a valuable pocket watch from his grandfather and says he trusted Mr. Williams to repair the timepiece, but he damaged it instead.
State your name.
Ashen Jenkins.
Sir.
Marcus Williams.
All right, and sir, you're suing the defendant for $8,223 for property damage?
Yeah.
Start with you.
Yeah, so I have a watch that was inherited to me. I got it from my grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
I got the appraisal and it said it was $8,200. So mechanically it was still moving, but the time wasn't correct and I wanted to wear it, in public, so I obviously went to go get it fixed. And before I went to the defendant, I went to 2 other people before him. And they both stated that they didn't want to work on the watch because the watch was, all intents and purposes, not worth trying to fix because it was so fragile.
2 people told you you shouldn't work on this because it's too fragile. You went ahead anyway.
No, they didn't say they shouldn't work on it. They said that
Why wouldn't they then?
because it was too fragile and it was risky.
Right. You've been warned. That's what you call being warned
Yes.
by 2 different experts that it was fragile and it's high probability that it will break. You tell me about this, sir.
Well, I've been repairing watches for almost 20 years now, and that watch was almost like a bad marriage, Your Honor.
What do you mean?
Well, let me explain. The love was there. I'm very passionate about my job, my work, everything that I do. I've been doing it for a while, but the damage on that watch was already done.
Coming up.
Since you received a 200-year-old watch, 2 watchmakers told you don't touch it. The man was trying to help you, and this is the help he gets. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Mathis Court is back with a case of Ashen Jenkins, who is suing Marcus Williams for property damage.
What did he tell you when he came in?
Basically, he wanted to get the watch to work again, so I don't want to say he was begging and pleading me to get it fixed, but I felt the emotion connection that he had. So I took a shot to be like, well, under my expertise, I've been doing this almost 20 years, all sorts of watches. I took the risk to be able to try to fix the watch. And it's not a guarantee that everything is going to be perfect because of the age of the watch, because of the tools of how old they are, specific pieces. And when I opened up the inside, as I mentioned, it was rusty. Parts were barely holding together.
How old do you think the watch is?
Oh, I couldn't even tell you. I mean, great-grandpa, watch
Do you
from the
have any idea?
1800s.
Yes, it was made in the 1800s, so it's about 200 years old.
Okay, 200 years old. Do you have any idea the last time it was cleaned or serviced?
No, it was
Okay.
in.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, because of the rust, because of the corrosion, which I feel like it was because he didn't take care of the watch, you know?
He only had it 3 months, sir.
Exactly. And with-
Somebody who had it for 200 years, over the course of those 200, didn't take care of the watch, sir. We can't put all this on him not taking care of it. He only had it 3 months, and he didn't know anything about it. You have it with you now?
Yes, I do.
Let's see it. See what you know about watches.
Out of his back pocket, Your Honor.
Yeah, you don't know anything about watches if you got a gold watch in your back pocket. This is an heirloom for sure. Oh my goodness. And you got it in your back pocket to sit down and let it slip out or break? Is that how this broke the first time? In your back pocket? You've just showed me that you don't take proper care. You just showed me that you don't value it as much as you should. Because you keep it in your back pocket where it can slip out or break when you sit down on a chair.
How will Judge Mathis rule? Find out when Mathis Court returns.
This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. 3 months since you received a 200-year-old watch and it wasn't working. 2 watchmakers told you don't touch it.
Your
The man
Honor.
was trying to help you, and this is the help he gets.
Your Honor,
This
that's
is called
exactly what he
contributory
did.
negligence, $4,115, half and half. You did cause damage to the watch, and your good heart got you in trouble. And as a result, I'm going to say you contributed to the negligence as well, sir. You should not have done it. You knew it would be risky, but he appealed to your emotions. I've done that recently with glasses, with very expensive vintage glasses. And no eye shop would touch them because they know they would suffer liability. Even though they did it at my request and I'm asking them, they would have suffered liability if they had done it. That's my judgment. Nothing else to hear. Have a good day.
All rise.
Judge Mathis has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $4,115.
You told me that there was nothing wrong with the watch.
From the outside.
The outside. You gave me that relief and told that's why you worked on it in the first place.
All right,
'cause you-
gentlemen.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.